Jordan faced some of the NBA's best players during his time of play. And to be the best, you have to beat the best, right? And he played players like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon, just to name a couple players that he played against. So today we're going to see how good he did against every top 75 player during his time of play, and to see how dominant he was compared to his relative competition. So let me stop yapping. Let's look at his performances.
Michael Jordan has faced 34 of the NBA's top 75 players who were selected at the 75th anniversary in 2022. That is nearly half of the players on that list. I went through every single one of those matchups in the regular season and the playoffs. What I found will blow your mind. What was his record against each player? Which players did he dominate? Which ones got the best of Jordan? And which player did Michael never beat in the NBA? Tune in to find out these answers and more. Going in alphabetical order, we're going to start with the first player on this list. That is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Alright, Kareem,
they faced
let's
each other
see.
8 times in the regular season between 1984 to 1989. So we're talking about a young MJ against a much older Kareem. So take the following numbers into context.
Right.
He went 4-4 against Kareem. Here's what they averaged against each other for those 8 games.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's expected though. Like, a old MJ and old Kareem, like, if it was like prime Jordan, prime Kareem, I don't know. These numbers will definitely be a lot different. I feel like they would dang near be neck and neck if it was prime, but I mean, still, Kareem still putting up numbers though for his old ass. 16 points a game, you know what I'm saying? Still getting you 2 blocks, you feel me? Still getting you, you know what I'm saying? He's still doing his work even though he's old. I ain't gonna lie. And you gotta take into context, look at the minutes per game. Kareem out here playing 28 minutes, Michael Jordan playing 40. Michael Jordan playing the whole game. Kareem playing like, that's like what, 2 quarters, 3 quarters and a half maybe of the game? That's like 2 quarters and a half, I believe. Some shit like that. But yeah, you gotta take that into context. I mean, still good numbers.
This is a trend that you can expect throughout this video. He came to play against each legend that he faced. Although Kareem was older, Jordan wanted to prove his greatness against the captain. There were even 2 games where he scored over 40 points. Next up, we have Ray Allen. He faced his sharpshooter 12 times between 1996 to 2003. So he faced Ray Allen during his younger years. However, he also faced Allen while he was older, while playing with the Wizards. Jordan had a record of 9-3 against him. Here's what they averaged against each other for those 12 games. This one wasn't very close.
Yeah, at all.
There was only one time when Allen outscored the 10-time scoring champion. There were 2 times when Michael scored over 40 points.
God.
The next player is Charles Barkley. If we include the postseason, they face each other 55 times. In the regular season, Sir Charles got the best of his airness. Jordan had a 19-20 record against Barkley. As you can see in this next graphic, Michael scored at a high level. In fact, there were 12 times that he scored over 40 points, which included 2 50-point games. Barkley might have the advantage in the regular season, but Jordan crushed him in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
He had a record of 12-4 against him.
And you gotta look, but the playoffs, how I look at it, playoffs really matter way more than the regular season. The regular season stats, although impressive, bro, when you can really gauge a player on what they do on the court when it matters most, because the playoffs, that's when shit really matter. But in playoff shit, niggas play more intense, it's more competitive. And 12-4, looking at that against Charles, shit, MJ cooked his ass.
Here are the numbers that he averaged against his rival.
And look, even better in the playoffs too. Look, he averaged what, 31 before, 39 now, 40 points a game against the dude in the playoffs. 40 per game? Nah, he wildin'.
In the postseason. That's right, he nearly averaged 40 points per game. That included a 55-point performance in Game 4 of the 1993 Finals. We move on to Larry Bird. In the regular season, they face each other 28 times. Jordan had a record of 11-17 against him. If we look at the numbers, Jordan gets the edge in the individual battle.
Right.
He has had some iconic performances at the expense of this legend. In the regular season, there were 6 times when he scored over 40 points, which includes 2 50-point games. But in the playoffs, Jordan never beat Bird and the Celtics.
Yeah.
He went 0-6 against them. This wasn't because he underperformed. In fact, he averaged nearly 40 points a game. That includes scoring the most points in NBA playoff history. In 1986, he scored 63 points in Game 2. Yet the Bulls still lost that game. That gives us an idea of the discrepancy in talent that the Bulls had compared to Boston during the 80s.
I remember hearing a lot of y'all boys talk about like, oh, Larry Bird's still the GOAT, this, that, and the third. And I believe, yeah, he's still a GOAT. I don't care if you believe he's the GOAT. If you believe he's the GOAT, that's fine from the video I made last time. But like, I know he had a broken back 85, and yeah, you know what I'm saying, that caused him to, you know, it plagued him down in his career later on. But I feel like you gotta realize the dude still had, whether his back was hurt in 85, the dude had plethora of help to still help him out. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, when Jordan came in, they didn't even know what they were doing, bro. Like, they still did not have the star power or even know how to set up him right at all. I feel like when Larry came in, like, the Celtics already knew what they needed. When they got him, they elevated. You get what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro. I feel like, man, Jordan's still killing these. He was still killing them boys, man. Even though he lost, he was still killing these boys, bro. I got him over Larry, but if you got Larry over Jordan, I ain't mad at it. I ain't even gonna argue it because they both good. You feel me? I ain't mad.
The next player is the closest thing that we've ever seen to Michael Jordan, and that's Kobe Bryant. They faced each other 8 times. Half of those games came during his time with the Bulls, and the other half with the Wizards. As far as bragging rights, Kobe gets to say he has beaten them more times. Yeah. Jordan has a record of 3-5 against his little brother. Their numbers were almost identical, which doesn't surprise me one bit. Michael's greatest performance came in their classic 1998 matchup, scoring 36 points on 55% shooting. But Kobe had the last laugh in their final matchup together. He had 55 points on 52% shooting.
Damn.
The next player was Jordan's biggest rival from the shooting guard position in the 90s.
Clyde.
That's Clyde Drexler.
He was tough.
They faced each other 23 times in the regular season and playoffs.
Clyde was tough.
Michael has a 10-7 record against Drexler. If we look at the numbers, MJ dominated his rival. That's 11 more points per game.
Yeah, 11 more points per game. They basically had the same defense. Yeah, Jordan was cooking this guy. What the hell, bro? Yo, Portland was a top defensive team. They were up there, bro. People don't be talking about them Trailblazers, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Them Trailblazers was good, bro. Clyde was tough, too. People be hating. And I forgot that. There was this one other dude on the Blazers. I forgot. He was a good shooter on there, maybe. Or am I thinking about... I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was a good-ass shooter on there. One of y'all old heads know. I don't remember his name, but y'all know. Y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all know.
There were 5 times that he scored over 40 points, which includes 2 50-point games.
How many
playoffs,
40
the difference between the two players was even more apparent. This was their average in the 1992 finals, and MJ proved that he was a superior player on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
We move on to the greatest power forward in NBA history, Tim Duncan.
TD.
They faced each other twice during Duncan's rookie season, and then 3 times when Michael was with the Wizards. Jordan has a 3-2 record against him. However, the numbers indicate that he had a hard time scoring efficiently. This can be said about every team that faces...
Yeah, look at that percentage, bro. 37 points. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Ugh. Yeah, that's disgusting. Look, this percentage is disgusting. Yeah, he wasn't scoring. He was definitely struggling. He was out there getting struggle buckets, bro. I gotta really see the games to see if like Jordan was really like getting like locked up by TD. I doubt he was getting locked up. That's not even his matchup. I bet you like the Spurs are like just good, are like a good defensive team. So I mean like Their defenses or like their defensive scheming were probably just like really good to the point where like Michael Jordan, like he really had to work for every bucket he could get. That's really what it probably was. I feel like there's not like one player that can individually stop the guy. You know what I'm saying? You need a game plan and scheme your defense around the dude.
Said about every team that faces Spurs during this time. In their very first meeting, Michael made 2 straight clutch shots. That includes a buzzer beater to force the first overtime. But that was about as exciting as it got when these two legends met. This next player was the one MJ was linked to the most throughout his career. That was Julius Erving. They faced each other 8 times between 1984 to 1987. We're talking about a young Michael against a much older version of Erving. For those 3 seasons, the Sixers got the best of the Bulls. Jordan had a record of 2-6 against them. From an individual aspect, the numbers show that Jordan was much more explosive during that stage of his career. He beats them in nearly every single category. Dr. J scored 30 points once against him, while Michael had 2 40-point games. This next player was Jordan's biggest Eastern Conference rival during the 90s, Patrick Ewing. Although many would agree with that statement, the numbers show that it wasn't much of a competition. Michael had a 30-13 record against him.
30-13? Bro, 30-13, y'all see this? Bro, that's why this guy Jordan was bitching this dude in the mixtape, bro. Yo, every time I see this dude, Ewing will every time will get caught in the highlight bit of this dude. Every single time, bro. Yo. And y'all old heads was saying, wasn't this dude beating him in the NCAA in college too? So this guy was just Michael Jordan's, like, you know what I'm saying, like cuddle buddy or something. Like, yo, literally he would just cook his ass every time. Damn, yo. Yeah, this was Michael Jordan's fucking bitch or some shit. Damn.
Then if we look at the numbers, we see that he averaged 10 more points in their head-to-head matchups.
Nah.
There were 9 times when he scored over 40 points.
9?
Which includes 3 50-point games. In the playoffs, Jordan had a 19-8 record against Patrick.
Yeah, nah.
His numbers went up in the postseason, as it usually happens with MJ. There were 7 times that he scored over 40 points, which includes a 54-point performance in 1993. Next up, we have Kevin Garnett. They are 2 of the most intense players we've ever witnessed on the court.
Right.
Who got the best of each other. Jordan had a 4-5 record against the big ticket. However, 4 of those losses came while he was playing in Washington.
That
Here
makes
are the
sense.
numbers that they averaged against each other. While he was playing in Chicago, he had his way against the Wolves. There was one time when he scored 41 points on 64% shooting in 1998.
Jeez.
This next player is an absolute legend, but he was on his last leg. It's George Gervin. They played each other 2 times, which came in the 1984/85 season.
I forgot about him.
They split the season matchup 1-1. Here are the combined numbers that they average. In Michael's rookie season, he had a field day against the Spurs. They were not known for their defense, and he ate them up. If only the Iceman was in his prime, we could have seen some legendary scoring duels.
Yeah, but like, yo, I forgot about George Gervin. But like, yo, my eyes just went up before his eyes. Did I just see 41.5? I know this is a 2-game sample size, but like, he had 2 40-point games. Shit, he must have had a 50. What the fuck? he 64%. Yo, he wildin'. Yo, Jordan was wildin' against this guy. What the fuck? He wildin'.
He lost to Iverson once from 19.
Oh, Iverson. I skipped too much.
Allen Iverson. Jordan had a record of 7-6 against the answer. During his time in Chicago, he only lost to Iverson once from 1996 to 1998. So Allen dominated his idol during the 2000s. Now check out the numbers that they averaged against each other. Allen Iverson averaged more points than Michael Jordan.
Damn.
The Sixers did a pretty good job of keeping MJ at bay. He never scored over 31 points against Iverson.
Really?
On the other hand, Allen had 2 40-point games against him. We now move on to the greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson. Although the Lakers were much more talented in the 80s, Jordan had a 7-6 record against Magic. The numbers show that Michael could do much more than just score a lot of points.
Yo, look at that.
Look at the numbers. He averaged nearly 10.5 more points. There were 5 times where he scored over 40 points. There was even one time when he had a 47-point triple-double. Then the playoffs. We remember that iconic 7-game series that they had in 1998.
Yeah.
The series was a close one, but according to the numbers, their head-to-head battle was a bit lopsided. This next matchup gathered literally 0 eyeballs during the 90s. No one cared because we didn't expect him to be this great. We're talking about Steve Nash.
Word?
He didn't start taking off till the mid-2000s, so Jordan never got to see him at his best. As you can see with the numbers, Nash hadn't hit his stride just yet.
Yeah, nah, this a wipe. There's no point. There's no point, bro. What? Bro, this dude had double this nigga's points, king. Like, yo, nah, it's no point.
Michael also didn't seem to get very fired up about their matchup either.
Yeah.
He had a 4-4 record against a 2-time MVP. But Michael always came to play when facing Shaquille O'Neal. They faced each other 11 times in the regular season, and Jordan had a 6-5 record against him. The Orlando Magic and the 90s Lakers were never known for their defense, but Michael seemed to have a hard time scoring efficiently with Shaq guarding the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that one time when he scored 64 points on 55% shooting.
Huh?
Other than that, it was never anything noteworthy for him.
Still 64 points, bro. Hey, gang, he's still putting in work, bro. We 64 points. Yo, that's OD. But yeah, Shaq big ass. That boy what 7'2", bro. Hella weight. Yeah, you can't do nothing against that guy in the paint. Michael Jordan not driving nothing in that paint. I ain't gonna lie.
In the playoffs, it was a different story. Michael has a 6-4 playoff record against the Diesel, and his numbers are much more to his lofty standard. That includes 2 40-point games he had against the Magic. This next player can actually say that he is undefeated against the GOAT. Were you able to guess who this player was?
Who?
It's Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh.
He went 0-3 against Dirk and the Mavs. He was even able to outperform Michael in their head-to-head battles.
Yeah, he really did.
But it's important to note that this came after Jordan's second retirement. So Dirk never played against Michael when he was playing in Chicago. That one probably shouldn't hold that much weight. But this next matchup is a very interesting one. We have the second best player of the 90s, Hakeem Olajuwon. Michael has a 10-13 record against him. The Rockets gave the Bulls all sorts of problems with Hakeem down the middle. If you look at their numbers, Jordan outperformed him in the scoring department.
Yeah, but look at Hakeem. Look at the defense, though. Do you see that? 2 steals, 3 blocks. As a big? Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Hakeem on defense, he was a pest. Like, legitly a pest. Like, legit. Like, he was like the Great Wall of China type of pest, bro. Like, he one of them people, like, you know what I'm saying? He come in your house, bro. I'm telling you, bro. He gonna be having you itching like all day, yo. Like he gonna be having you itching, like you gonna be looking like through your skin. You gonna be like, damn, bro, this nigga got Hall of Fame defense. You feel me? He gonna be all your shit, boy. Oh, me, you gonna be scared.
He scored over 40 points 4 times against him, while Hakeem scored over 30 3 times. But Hakeem did most of his damage on the defensive end.
Yeah.
That's what made their hypothetical finals matchup so enticing. Their history indicates that it would have been a competitive series. Next up, we have Robert Parish. I don't think he was the kind of player that Jordan stayed up for before games, but he was always someone that you needed to watch out for. Michael knows this very well. Parish was drafted before Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, yet he played longer than them, so it's worth diving into the numbers. Michael went 22-20 against him. As expected, he crushed him in the numbers department.
Yeah.
Although he never beat the Celtics in the playoff game, he did defeat Parish in 1995 when he was with the Hornets. He was like 50 years old during this time, but still, he went 3-7 against them in the postseason. The next player is Gary Payton. How did he perform against one of the greatest perimeter defenders of all time?
Let's see.
He went 10-5 against him. The numbers aren't as close as you would think it would be. Jordan averaged nearly 15.
God, yeah, I thought Gary Payton would have had more in the scoring department. I mean, Gary Payton was more of a defender, but even then, Michael Jordan still outperforming him on defense too. So it's like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, there's not much of a talk here, bruh. To be honest, completely dominated his ass in every single way. Like, literally, bro, completely. Except maybe assists. That's literally it.
More points per game. There were 2 games where he scored over 40 points. He even recorded his career high of 18 rebounds in 1997.
The hell?
They faced each other once in the playoffs, which was the 1996 finals. The Bulls won the series 4-2. Here are the averages that they recorded in that series. Next up, we have Paul Pierce. He was drafted in 1998, so he never faced Michael in Chicago. So surely, he got the best of the old man. That is where you are wrong. Jordan has a 4-2 record against him. He also averaged the same number of points as the youngin while being more efficient.
Hold on. Wait, Paul Pierce, bro. I like him. He's really the truth. But, man, yeah, he was struggling. 35%? Thank God. Yeah, he was struggling. Old boy was pinning him down. Pause. But he was giving that boy the fucking defensive lock treatment, bruh. Diamond lockdown defender, my nigga. God.
Pierce had to learn the hard way.
Had him jumping. Look at him.
I hate to bring up bad memories for this next player, but poor Scottie Pippen had the misfortune of playing with the selfish Michael Jordan for years. But due to the grace of God, he got out of that horrible situation in 1999. So he ended up playing against his former teammate once. In 2002, the Blazers beat the Wizards by 19 points. They each scored 14 points. I guess this proves that Michael Jordan could never win without Scottie Pippen. The next player is David Robinson. This was the second best center of the 90s.
It really, realistically though, it really don't prove anything. Him going against, it don't prove anything, bro. I'm gonna be honest. It really don't, bro. At the end of the day, bro, you gotta realize Michael Jordan needed Scottie as much as Scottie needed Michael. They both needed each other, bro. It's like the same with LeBron and Kyrie. Kyrie, they both need each other. Larry Bird, Kevin McKinney, they both needed each other. Every great team, they all need each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop that bullshit.
Behind Hakeem Olajuwon. Did Jordan perform any better against him? Well, it was a tie. He went 7-7 against the Admiral. The numbers say that Jordan did his thing on the scoring end, but he wasn't his normal efficient self.
Yeah.
There were 2 times where he scored over 40 points, while Davis scored over 30 3 times.
Sheesh.
But just like Hakeem, most of his damage came on the defensive end. This was something that made the Bulls struggle during their 90s reign. We move on to another former team.
That boy David Robinson was really a problem. No troll. He was a problem. He don't get talked about that much. I barely hear folks talk about bro, but he was a problem.
Made of his, Dennis Rodman. He played Michael a total of 49 times if we include the playoffs. The Worm has some bragging rights. Jordan went 16-21 against him in the regular season and 10-12 in the playoffs. As you all know, Dennis was all about grabbing rebounds and playing defense like his life depended on it.
Right.
So the numbers favored Jordan by a lot. But you always felt the presence of Rodman, and that's what gave his team the advantage in many instances. We move on to Michael Jordan's most hated rival, Isaiah Thomas. It seems like they're still competing to this day, and Isaiah has plenty to brag about. Jordan has a 19-24 record against him. In the playoffs, as we saw for Dennis Rodman, he has a 10-12 record. The Pistons were the stronger team during the 80s, but Jordan hasn't beat in their individual battles.
Right.
He averaged 10.6 more points than Isaiah in the regular season. He had one 60-point game, one 59-point game, and 6 other 40-point performances. The difference in their numbers is even larger in the playoffs. He averaged 11.1 more points. That equals 3 40-point games. Basketball historians say that the Jordan rules that the Pistons implemented contain Michael's scoring outburst. But with Isaiah's 40% field goal average, it seems like the Bulls bothered Isaiah even more so.
Even more,
For his next player, I would like to pay my respects to Bill Walton. By the time Jordan arrived in the league, Walton was nowhere near the player he once was. But he was still an impactful player. It's not worth diving into the numbers, but Jordan went 2-2 against this legendary player.
That's the
We
goal.
move on to the most
That's a goal
exciting
right
player
there.
on this list, Dominique Wilkins. Which high-flying player gets the crown here? It's Michael Jordan. He has a 27-18 record against him. But one thing about Dominique is that he never backed down against Jordan. The numbers are very close to each other.
Yeah, dumb close. That's the most even there. I think that's the most even I've seen this video. Shoot. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Only thing Jordan really got on, bro, I mean, really assist is the defense, like the steals. But realistically, like, nah, that's pretty even. I'm gonna be honest. Well, they both doing their thing against each other, bro. I ain't gonna lie. They was cooking. Dominique, I like, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Even against Larry Bird, he wasn't backing down from Cuz. I'm not gonna lie. He was really like that. You feel me, on the Hawks team.
Out of the 45 times that they face each other, he nearly averaged over 30 points per game. In the 1986-87 season, he scored 57 points against the Bulls. But later in the year, Jordan scored 61 points.
Oh.
They only faced each other once in the playoffs, which was in the 1993 first-round series. Even at Dominique's advanced age, he held his own. It was a commendable effort, despite the Bulls sweeping.
Ooh, nah, Dominique out there cooking. 30 points. Nah, he cooking though. He doing his thing. Obviously, Michael Jordan wins the battle, but like, I still gotta commend him though. Shit, he still, look at him though. He's still doing his thing though. I fuck with the bro.
Hawks. The last player on the list is James Worthy. Although Michael has a winning record against Magic Johnson, Worthy gets the edge here. Michael has a 6-9 record against him. From an individual standpoint, it's no surprise that Jordan dominated him in each category. We remember how he performed in the 1991 finals, but here are the numbers that James recorded for that series as well.
Shit, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That boy Michael Jordan was making that boy James Worthy look stupid. He was making bro look stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, slow, my fault. They said Larry Bird make the dude look, you know what I'm saying, stupid. But still, though, Michael Jordan was still cooking, bro. He was making this guy look slow. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care. I'm gonna use James Worthy quote.
So what was Jordan's overall record against all the top 75 players that he faced? It's 382 to 366. He had a winning record against the best of the best. Which player did he dominate the most? That was Patrick Ewing.
Yo.
He had an overall record of 49-21 against him. Which player dominated MJ the most? That was Larry Bird. He had an overall record of 11-23.
Yeah.
Which player did he average the most points against while playing a minimum of 5 games?
Who?
It was Clyde Drexler.
Damn.
He averaged 34.5 points per game. Which player averaged the most points against Michael? It's a tie between Allen Iverson and Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah, that
they
makes
both
sense.
averaged 29.8 points per game. What about in the playoffs? Jordan dominated Charles Barkley the most. He averaged 39.3 points per game in 16 playoffs.
40 points per game is like against a top 75 player. Like, yo, 40 points a game. Yo, is crazy, yo. That's like, yo, every matchup this guy was giving you 40. You showing up in the office, right? You getting ready to play. You see Michael. Oh, he gonna give me 40. He gonna give me 40. You can't even do nothing about it. Now, the one opponent that Michael Jordan couldn't beat was Larry Bird. And if you want to see the true reason why Michael couldn't beat Larry Bird, click on this video right here.